And folks, you can now ask a question, make a comment, suggest a topic, give us a testimony. We would love to hear, how you're doing. All you have to do is press your star key two times to open your microphone and join the conference, making a suggestion, asking a question, suggesting a topic. Please press your star key two times to open your microphone to talk with us here, please. This is I've got a microphone that has come open there in the Huntsville area. Did you have a question?
Yes, Dr. Burton.
Yeah.
This is Alicia Black. I have a question about diabetes and what is the best thing to, other than prescription medicines, to start taking for diabetes?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and let Doc Miles tell us how he's working with it, because he's getting great successes. I'm getting great successes with people using the protocol that I put together. Doc, what do you think about diabetes?
Well, diabetes, adult onset diabetes can be reversed very, very easily. Now, Dr. Birch has his own two products. One's a diabetic tea and one's a glucose balance. And
Capsules.
it works wonderfully because I've already got some patients on that and their blood sugars are dropping.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ways to do it really, really quickly. Like alpha lipoic acid will drop your blood sugar, within an hour and a half. And, for people that have really, really high blood sugar and, they've got to drop it down quickly, then I hit them with the alpha lipoic acid. And that always works. It always works. But you can reverse this by tickling the pancreas to make it start working better. And Dr. Birch Formulas does that. It's an awesome, awesome formula. And I've got to order some more because I'm already running out. But it really does work. I mean, you can reverse diabetes. I mean, it can be done. Even people that have been on insulin with Dr. Birch's formula, it can be done. I haven't seen that yet, but I see their numbers coming down. And then I check their hemoglobin A1C to see if the marker is down. Because a lot of times, if you're diabetic, your hemoglobin A1C marker will be above 5. You want it closer to 4 if you can get it that way, and there's lots of ways to do that. Berberine is one of the better things that I use. Bodies Research makes it. They did studies on it, double-blind studies and everything. And within just a very short time, everybody's hemoglobin A1C came down. And I've had probably 30 patients that did the same thing on it, and it just changed their whole diabetic scenario. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you. So what I really need to do is to go on the website to get the information, everything that I should be taking.
The website you want to go to is herbalhealthreview.com. When you're on herbalhealthreview.com, click on common conditions and then go down alphabetically A, B, C, D until you get to diabetes and click on that report. And then when you see that report, you don't need to take every single thing on the report. The first two items, the Gymnema sylvestre and the bitter melon in that report, which you can click on each of these herbs and it'll take you where you can see them each individually. This report is not only talks about an herbal product like herbal tincture extract, like Gymnema sylvestre, which is the Hindi name, which translates as sugar destroyer. The plant is said to reduce the ability to detect sweetness. And it's regarded as one of the most powerful herbs for blood sugar control. And it may work by boosting the activity of enzymes that help cells use glucose, or by stimulating the production of insulin. And that's only one herb. And if you clicked on that herb that it's talking about, it takes you over to the manufacturer, and you can get that herb individually. You can see the sizes and the directions and the dosage and so forth. And so knowing that there's this report that explains it all on herbalhealthreview.com, clicking on common conditions and going to the diabetes report, and then knowing that when you're looking at an herb, you can click on it and it takes you over to betterhealthherbs.com where you can actually see the product. And it's that way with every single product on that list, and there's quite a few, because it gives you a great deal of support. And then in that diabetes report system, those first two herbs, Genema sylvestre and bitter melon, are some of the main components in a formula called glucose balance capsules and glucose balance liquid. And what we've done there is combined that Genema sylvestre along with mormordica and bilberry leaf and bilberry fruit and alpha lipoic acid, along with vanadyl sulfate and bean pod fruit and blueberry leaf and hyssop leaf and pleurisy leaf and paprika and uva ursi. And when you've got all of that together combined, both as a liquid and as capsules, and okay, we've got an open mic. I have to go address it. We have an open microphone. I'm over there, and I need to close the open mic. Someone quit talking there. Okay, but I'm closing the mic anyway so that we don't get an echo feedback. That's the nature of this scenario. Now, so what I'm doing is I'm describing this report for diabetes. It's a combination of so much support, and you can and chromium, just that simple trace mineral, chromium, enhances the action of insulin, as well as being involved in carbohydrate, fat, and protein metabolism. And it's an inexpensive way to lose weight. That's right, just a little trace mineral chromium will help you go to your perfect weight. It'll be one of the things that is generally missing when people have a weight problem. And then there's a multiple vitamin mineral supplement, the greatest multiple vitamin in the world. It's called Intramax, over 415 ingredients, and it's just a half an ounce in the morning, half an ounce in the evening, and you have over 415 ingredients loaded, and they're all organic, loaded with minerals and antioxidants and vegetables and super greens. It's a phenomenal product, and that gives you a nutritional boost that is targeting the entire body. And so if you're using herbs that are like that bitter melon and Genema sylvestre, and you're making sure you're getting plenty of calcium and magnesium, maybe 3 tablets before bed, because it's not uncommon that people with diabetes, it can worsen with high blood sugar and insulin resistance. So when you have, because of a magnesium deficiency, and you want magnesium balanced with calcium, so all of this is addressed. So we're addressing all of these issues, and we're making sure you're getting a great multiple vitamin and that chromium and the glucose balance capsules. And we even made it into a liquid because you get 300% more absorption from a liquid than you do a capsule or a tablet. So we made it in two directions and taking it both at the same time. And we're seeing, we're getting reports of people telling us that they don't have diabetes anymore in 3 to 6 weeks, even if they've had it 10, 15, 20 years. It clears up. So it can. And when you feed the body the right things. Just the bilberry leaf and the bilberry fruit, a relative of the blueberry. bilberry. It contains, it's stronger in nutrients. The bilberry is stronger in nutrients than the blueberry, and it contains powerful antioxidants in its fruit and leaves. And these antioxidants called anthocyanidins seem to help prevent damage to tiny blood vessels that can result in nerve pain and retinopathy and damage to the eyes, retina. So that's a wonderful product to know about. And I'm checking for an open mic again, and there it is. Okay, so that's when you're talking about diabetes. Then that's why we're talking about these kinds of nutrients. The alpha lipoic acid that Doc Miles mentioned, they call that ALA instead of alpha lipoic acid for short. So ALA, it's a vitamin-like substance, and it neutralizes many types of free radicals, this is wonderful when you've got something that can attack those free radicals. And because a buildup of free radicals caused in part by high blood sugar. It can lead to nerve damage and other problems. So ALA may also help muscle cells take up blood sugar. And there would be another one, another good candidate for that earlier person who talked about a spinal cord injury that caused nerve damage and lots of pain. Well, that would be another wonderful nutrient, alpha lipoic acid, that may be helpful for that situation. A couple of herbs that I don't even, that I kind of leave in the wings. I don't use everything that I know because it's overwhelming. So I give a short list. And the short list, I leave out the fenugreek. Even though the fenugreek seeds are used in Indian cooking, and they've been found to lower blood sugar and increase insulin sensitivity and reduce high cholesterol. And according to several animal and human studies, also high in fiber, and the seeds also contain an amino acid that appears to boost the release of insulin. And I don't even use that unless I needed to. So, because I've got things and I don't use ginseng unless I need to. I had some before the broadcast, so I'd have enough energy to go for 2 hours and still feel like going out afterwards and dancing. And that's that ginseng, because it's known for its immune boosting and disease fighting benefits. Ginseng, Chinese ginseng, American ginseng, Korean ginseng, this herb has several positive diabetes studies behind it as well. Ginseng, and that's researchers have found that the ginseng slows carbohydrate absorption. It increases cells' ability to use glucose, and it increases the insulin secretion from the pancreas. So then we have a diabetes tea extract, and I'm not even using the ginseng or the fenugreek. We'll leave that in the wings. If we need it for a boost, well, we've got it. But otherwise, normally don't have to have it. Because everything else, because as long as we're using the things that I mentioned, and then we're using that diabetes tea extract, which is a formula with a combination of herbs that helps to regulate and balance the glucose sugar level in the blood, well, that helps both type 1 and type 2 diabetes. I had a lady I talked to yesterday. She says, well, I've got type 1, and that's really harder to get rid of, So are you sure? She says, I'm really skeptical. And I said, well, all I know is here's what the research says. It's up to you to make up your own mind. If you're skeptical, don't do it. But if you can keep the faith and use the nutrients, and you're going to see what everybody else does, those numbers are going to go down. Because by the way, that diabetes tea extract, it also helps control cravings for sugar, and there's a diabetes tea extract And there's also a diabetes herbal tea. And using both of those together, along with both types of glucose balance, you're overwhelming the problems with the diabetes. And in another two products that I leave in the wings and I don't use are diabetes and insulin support. And I got a little noise there in the background again. And I'm going to go back over here and close that microphone. That's giving us a little noise.
Hey, Truman, am I still on?
Yes. Are you there?
Hello?
Hello. Are you there? Yes.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, we had a little microphone background noise, and I think I have closed up the mic that was causing it. So that's talking about diabetes, and I'm almost done doing that. I just wanted to let you know that there's a lot you can do. That I could go into the how the diabetes herbal tea alone works, and then there's I really got a lot of noise here somehow, and I'm gonna have to close up somebody's mic, and maybe that'll do it. I think, yeah, Mrs. Black, your phone was making a lot of noise, and I'm not getting, and I'm getting a little feedback through that phone. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're back to no more static again. And as I'm ending my information that I know, there is a gland rejuvenator with about 60 herbs in it, 56 herbs, I believe. And that's it. That gland rejuvenator, when you're taking that, that's why people are reporting back when they're doing these things. No more diabetes in 3 to 6 weeks, and that's what the report is. And I got it from a number of people. And one of the most phenomenal things I heard was about 10 days ago. Derek called me. Derek said, I'm the one that don't have diabetes, and he said, after I got over it, and it took about 3 to 6 weeks. He said, all my numbers dropped down within 3 weeks, and then I was totally off of insulin and everything, and didn't need anything anymore by 6 weeks. And he said, and so I told my dad who had diabetes, and my dad, he said, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't believe in that. And then finally he said, guess what? I talked my dad into trying it because I stayed diabetes free for 6 months. So my dad did it, and my dad no longer has diabetes. And we were talking on the telephone, and we were crying over the phone together. I just want you to know that we're really happy about that, that we both don't have diabetes. So here's my mom's telephone number. She has diabetes. And here's my sister's telephone number. She has diabetes. And I spoke with both of them. They're going to be do this protocol, this information. And I expect that we're going to have a family of 4 people with diabetes that don't have diabetes anymore. And that's a real testimony to the Lord healing people and using natural remedies to do so. So anyway, that's it for me on diabetes. Doc Miles, are you still with us? I may have lost him. Let me see here. I'm going to see if he is. May have lost him. I may have lost Doc Miles. If you are there, Doc, press your star key 2 times to open your mic.
Hello?
Are you with me? Hello? Yes. Okay, so if you have any question or any comment, we're going to open the mics at this point. Anybody who wants to say anything or ask a question, or then please press your star key 2 times. Press your star key 2 times. Ask your question. Make your comment. Now's a good time to do it.
Hello?
Yes, hello. What area code are you in?
302.
Is that 330?
302.
302. Okay, I'm going to close all the other mics. And 302, how can we be helpful? What should we talk about?
Well, okay, I want to talk about multiple sclerosis and lupus. And I was wondering, I have a two-part question. I was wondering if they are, because these are diseases where the body looks at itself as a disease and it attacks itself. I was wondering, is leaky gut associated with that? And if it is there anything that you could take to help with leaky gut? And is that something most people have and don't realize it, leaky gut?
Yeah, a lot of people, they just kind of put up with it, and they don't realize that if they were taking more fiber, and the best fiber in the world is called special fiber with bentonite clay, because bentonite clay is so powerful of a healer that it is the remedy for MRSA, which is a flesh-eating disease. So if you're taking this fiber that has bentonite clay and all this chlorella, spirulina, and green food nourishment and herbs in there, then it's imparting all the nourishment, and the psyllium husks are acting like a sponge and absorbing things you're trying to get rid of. And instead of having leaky bowel, now that fiber is absorbing all of that leaky gut scenario, and the bentonite clay is healing the tissues, and so is all the green foods and nutrients. So you have this healing sponge called special fiber number 4837 that if you call the folks over at betterhealthherbs.com, that's the website where you can order it. If you go on their search engine on betterhealthherbs.com and you typed in 4837, then you would see that fiber. So I'm going to go do that so you can look at it in the video that I'm making here. And I'm going over now to betterhealthherbs.com. I'm going to their website. I think I am. There it is. And I'm clicking on it, bringing up that betterhealthherbs.com. I'm going to minimize that window, and I'm waiting for this to come up. And I'm going to look at that number. I'm going to bring it up into the screen capture, because later you can go to herbalhealthreview.com. That's the information website. And please leave a donation there, because 99% of the people that I help, don't get a donation. They're the poor. And I refuse to have a ministry that doesn't include the poor. Even if I have to spend 99% of my time helping someone who's not going to help me pay the rent. And I do need to pay the rent, just like everybody else. So please help me do that. And that's on herbalhealthreview.com. And when you're there, click on Discoveries in Health, and that gives you all these videos that we're making here. At the bottom of that Discoveries in Health tab, when you go down through there, it tells you how you can join this broadcast over your telephone. You can join this broadcast over your computer. You can join this broadcast over your computer with live audio video. And that's all when you go to herbalhealthreview.com and you click on Discoveries in Health tab. And then you'll be able to see this video. And I'm doing a screen capture. I have now brought up the website Herbal, and I don't have enough room here. And now I'm going to have to shrink that down a little bit. Okay, come on. I'm looking for an edge here, and I'm not finding an edge. So I'm going up there, and that helped. Oh, do it again. Okay, I'm trying to do screen captures. Stay with me while I try to figure out how to do it. All right. I am not having any good. There we go. I finally did it. I finally have this where I want it. and I'm moving this over here and doing a screen capture of that product. I'm talking about number 4837. So I'm gonna go to, and I've gone to betterhealthherbs.com, and I'm bringing that into right up into the screen. Oh, there's my little great granddaughter holding up the sign that has the telephone number, and that she did that when she was 4. And so that's four generations of herbalists helping you there. I'm looking at that betterhealthherbs.com. I do not get anything from the sale of any product. If I did, our government frowns upon that. They don't want any herbalists in America to make a living. And so if you told people the value of an herbal product and you sold it in America, that's illegal. I don't know if you knew that or not, but well, it's against the rules of the FDA. And if you do that, then they get to beat you up, harass you, intimidate you, and go after you. That's the way the rules are, created by an evil agency called the Food and Death Administration, the FDA. So I invented all these products, and I can't get anything from them. So my family manufactures them, and the FDA was told to leave me alone by a federal judge. So after 40 years of attacking me, they have to leave me alone. So now they just attack my daughter, my granddaughters, daughters, and my great-grandchildren. That's all. That's what they do. So that's how it goes, and that's a true ministry, and nobody makes any money doing this. We should prosper and be in good health, and so far we're we just every penny goes to fighting the FDA and complying with them, because they're this betterhealthherbs.com. Let's see, 4837. That's the joint care formula that takes care of all the pain. That's that formula. But let's go to 4837 and take a look at that fiber special that gets rid of leaky bowel. And then let's take a look at fibromyalgia. And here it is, a cleansing program that cleans the bloodstream and helps the liver and cleans up the liver and gets the liver going again, which is what we've been talking about all morning, and which we always talk about, because everybody's liver is under assault. And so when the liver is working better, then the bowel is going to work better, and everything is going to work better. And so there is a cleansing program. And when I click on that cleansing program, it's number 4837, and it tells me what's in it. And the ingredients are 2 bottles of number 1078 colon and liver cleansing liquid that rejuvenates the liver, and 8 ounces of that special fiber powder, and then it has then it's a kit. And the product description it has lost its links and needs to be fixed, but that's the way that is. So that's one of the things that is on the list of a person who is doing all this massive work of getting all this information up on the internet. That's one of the things on the list is to fix this number 4837 and all the other kit information product information list, because it's not working. However, the product works perfectly. The cleansing program with bentonite clay will get rid of leaky bowel and help to renew the liver. So that's how you do that, and that's why I wanted you to see that product. Now let's go take a look at multiple sclerosis. That was the question. So now we're over here looking at the reports. And I'm drinking some kombucha mushroom. They call it tea. Kombucha mushroom, anyway. I'm drinking some of that. Ah, that's great. Needed that. Can only talk so much before I have to drink some liquids. Now I'm back over here on herbalhealthreview.com. I'm on that website, herbalhealthreview.com. And I've clicked on common conditions, and I'm now going to the common conditions reports. And one of my favorite ones is the make lifestyle changes, because that just talks about everything. And whenever it talks about something, you can click on it and you can go see it, whether it's a product or another report within the report, because this is deep. This information, I have worked on it day and night for 55 years. And this is the culmination of it. And I don't own that website. I don't own anything. That way they can't come after me. Because if I did, according to their rules, it's okay to come after me. We live in an insane governmental scenario called the FDA, and that's their rules. So I don't own anything, so they can't work their criminal extortion racket against me. They tried to. They failed. The FDA, the federal court, told them to leave me alone. So now they just attacked my family. And I told the federal judge they are relentless and they will not quit, and they have not. And they continue, and they have all these rules, but they don't just attack my family. They've attacked the entire supplement industry. They are at war with a massive attack on all herbal manufacturers, and especially tincture manufacturers, because that's the strongest way of taking an herbal medicine. So they're trying to drive up the costs by their scheme of attacking and sitting across the desks until they drive you out of business or cost you so much money you have to raise the prices so that your products are more compared to the evil prices of their chemical poison drugs. And that's the scheme in America. Welcome to a really evil medical scheme by the FDA. And that's what we're battling here, folks. So we're down here now looking at a report on a website that I don't own, but it's all about my work. And by the way, it has a donate button. And if I don't get a donation, I can't pay the rent. And many times, because I help mostly people who don't have the ability to give me a donation, and I won't quit doing it, because I believe that a true ministry is for the poor, and it's for those who can make a donation. And if you're serving 99% of the poor, you're not going to get a donation. That's the way it's been. People keep telling me you should charge. You should charge. I've never charged anybody to help them. I just operate by donation. So if I don't get a donation, then I have to tell my landlord when he comes for the rent. I have to tell him, they tell me my reward's in heaven, so I guess your reward is in heaven too. Yeah, he doesn't go for it though. He still says the rent, buddy, or out. So I'm late mostly, and my trash gets cut off, my telephone gets cut off, the power has been cut off, and so forth. But that's a ministry, and I'll never stop helping the poor. And I'm spending an hour on the telephone explaining something to someone, and they tell me, well, as soon as I get my Social Security payment, I'm going to send you a donation. You know what I tell them? Don't. Because if you're in that situation, then you're in the same situation I'm in. You're living on your Social Security, and I'm putting my Social Security into the ministry. And I tell them, don't do it. And I will always tell them, don't do it. If you can't afford to give me a donation, don't do it. But if you can, there's a donate button on herbalhealthreview.com, and I deeply appreciate every donation. It helps me to keep things going while I help the poor who can't make a donation. All right, now that being said, because you have to beg for donations, when you're doing a ministry, that goes with the turf. I for many years it was really hard for me to beg for donations. I just was, I just couldn't do it. Well, you get your phone cut off enough times, and your water and everything else, and you got your landlord telling you he's going to throw you out in the street. Well, then you finally learn to ask for a donation. And so I've become very brazen in my old age now, and I'm brazenly ask for a donation for anybody who can donate. Please go up on that herbalhealthreview.com and click on that donate button and leave whatever you can. Okay? And any amount helps. $5 is fantastic. Anyway, enough said about that. Let's go to multiple sclerosis and answer some questions here. Now, here we are, multiple sclerosis. Well, multiple sclerosis it's an autoimmune disorder, really. So we're going to make sure that and they're not uptaking the nutrients that they need. So first thing is that Intramax, making sure that they get a good multiple vitamin, that there's a liquid that they hold in their mouth, and it goes right into the bloodstream, and it's over 415, all organic ingredients. Then there's a pain and MS relief formula. And when you're looking at any of these, you can click on it, and it takes you over to where you can see the product. So if I'm looking at the multiple sclerosis report that's on herbalhealthreview.com, and I'm clicking on that herbalhealthreview.com, I'm clicking on common conditions, and I'm going to MS for multiple sclerosis, and then I'm looking at the report, and then it talks about a pain and MS relief formula. So I clicked on that, and it takes me over. Now I'm looking at the formula, and you can too. And I'm looking at the price of it. A 1 ounce bottle is $11.88, and if the FDA had their way about it, it would be $111.88, because that's what they're trying to do. That's what their evil scheme is. Drive the prices up. That you now have to do double-blind clinical research and so forth to create an herbal extract that people have been creating since the dawn of time. But now you can't do it unless you have millions and millions of dollars. You cannot create a product. And then if you do create it, it has to be redundantly tested over and over and over and over to drive the cost up more. So that's their evil scheme, and that's why you've seen 90% of the herbal manufacturers, the little guys, they're gone. I'm one of the last I'm one of the last people standing that are still talking about herbal extracts and formulations and multiple formulations, because all of that in America is forbidden by the FDA unless you have zillions of dollars to play their game and make sure they get their mafioso money. Now, we're talking about this formula for pain. And that formula for pain has valerian root, wild lettuce seed, wood betony leaf, and that helps to reduce the pain. Now, there are a lot of other things that we can add. There are lots of pain relievers. One of the best and most complete herbal pain relievers, besides this pain and MS relief formula, well, there's quite a few. One of them would be this formula here. And I'm going to go right over there and change that number to 1043. 1043. Now that is a really great pain formula for arthritis, for MS, any kind of pain. It's got just, it's called joint care. And that herbal formula is $12.99 an ounce. And, you can start with a little bit, but find out. It took me a lot of that formula to get rid of all of my arthritis pain and to get rid of the arthritis, because it did for me and for a lot of people I know. And it has, it has 68 herbs in it. Fulvic acid, nettle root, nettle leaf, turmeric, buchu for the kidneys, Oregon grape for the kidneys, black cohosh root, buckthorn root, burdock root, hydrangea root, skullcap root. I mean, the list goes on 68 deep. So that is a phenomenal formulation that even has a cancer formula within it, and that's the key. Cleaning the bloodstream while you're doing all these other things changes the whole picture, and a lot of people don't understand that concept, but it sure does work. And so that is the help with pain. Let's go over and look at that multiple sclerosis report again, and then there's MSM. MSM stands for methanol sulfonyl methane. And what does that mean? Organic sulfur, the kind of sulfur that's in garlic. So you've got this MSM powder, and it helps rejuvenate joints and all body cells, helps all body cells, and it lessens the pain and stiffness of arthritis, and it boosts energy level. But they underdose you, and it's safe to take. A tablespoon 3 times a day, and when you hit that dose, it changes everything. Your hair, skin, fingernails, they remain young and pliable, and your skin, and you look younger. And so the MSM is hair, fingernails, skin, every cell in your body stays younger, stays what they call permeable, moist. It lets all the toxins out and lets all the nutrients in, and that cell stays young. And so all your aches and pains go away. It's wonderful. MSM powder, 1 tablespoon, 3 times a day. Wonderful when you're battling multiple sclerosis. And sometimes people are relating it to Lyme disease. And all of these things are an autoimmune disease. And here it is, milk thistle seed supports liver and digestion. At least a teaspoon of the extract, or maybe a tablespoon, which is 3 teaspoons of milk thistle seed powder. You can put it into a power drink. It renews liver cells by 60% every 120 days. Then there's ashwagandha. Now talk about nerve exhaustion, and getting back to that spinal cord again, because I don't forget these things. And when somebody tells me something, it's anchored. I think about it years later. I can't forget anything, these things. And people come to me and they ask me a question. Years later, I find more information, and I wish they were there or called me back, because I have information that I finally broke through and I got more and more and more information about a problem. But ashwagandha helps nerve exhaustion and loss of muscular energy. So ashwagandha, that's a superfood, and you want to get it as a powder, because that ashwagandha will give you tons of energy and nutrition. It's a superfood, and that's why I put that in to a power drink, along with some along with some milk thistle seed powder. Those 2 things, milk thistle seed powder, ashwagandha, those are all in my power drink. Which is right here. and I'm not going to drink some because it's really thick, and I need to thin it out with a little bit of hemp seed liquid, hemp milk, and then it'll be more drinkable. Besides the ashwagandha for multiple sclerosis, there's echinacea. It supports the immune system. Hawthornberry is good for stress and supports the heart. Turmeric, curcumin, the super anti-inflammatory herb. Take as much as you need until you get rid of the inflammation. That number 1043 joint care formula that has all those herbs against pain and inflammation and blood cleansing. One of the key herbs in that, turmeric. And even take more if you need more. More is better for some people. And the thing about these things is that we're using it until we don't need it anymore, and then you don't need it anymore. In other words, you're taking, maybe you're taking a lot of turmeric until all the inflammation is gone. Then you're taking less. And then if you know about joint care, you're probably not having to take it at all anymore. Because joint care, that's what it does. Is it has that blood cleanser with it, and when it's cleaning the blood and getting rid of all this inflammation and pain and suffering, then toxins out of the body and so forth, and then you're doing these other things to increase the momentum. Whatever you take as much as you need, and then there's a muscle relaxant that has kava. And it's used for tight and sore muscles and backaches and bursitis and lupus and muscular problems and pleurisy and rheumatism and spasms and tetanus. And I'm not saying it's the cure for anything. I'm saying this is what it's used for historically and traditionally. Now, the FDA misconstrues information, and when I'm talking about an herb that's like a muscle relaxant, they say, oh, he's prescribing and diagnosing. I am not. I am simply talking about the historical and traditional uses of an herb or a substance or a supplement. And a judge agrees with me and disagrees with the FDA. And boy, did that floor him. They couldn't believe it. And neither could I. At the time, it was a phenomenal thing to behold and be a part of, to watch a federal judge chew the FDA chew on their ears for about 45 minutes.